what's that movie? Is it ahead? Don't ask Elaine, 'cause she'll say, I haven't seen it.
Welcome to the I Haven't Seen It podcast. This is the podcast where we bring people on the show and we get them really drunk and they tell them about a movie that I've never seen before. I'm Alenka Zach.
And I'm Will. And guess what, Alenka?
What?
When this episode is out, meaning today, if you're listening to it on Tuesday, July the 20th,
Yeah.
it's my birthday.
Oh,
It's my birthday today.
Well, we're jumping into the future, but we're gonna
we're in the
celebrate today.
future.
Shit, you
I
guys. Will's fucking in his 30s, baby.
I am 30.
He's
I don't have my horn. I didn't prep it. Fuck.
That's fine. That worked so
Yeah.
well. Well,
Yeah,
you guys,
I'm excited.
I want you
I'm
to
excited to be 30.
Yeah, I think you should be. I don't know why people get so scared about 30. It's just you're
Oh,
a real
'cause,
adult now.
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like
the
you
end of your
become-
life, apparently. Yeah,
That's trash. That's utter trash.
it is. It is.
Well, look forward to dying, I guess. Will, happy birthday. Let's move on.
I mean, probably early from a heart attack. It's in the family.
Okay, you don't have to do that.
No, I don't. But we have a very special guest on tonight talking about a movie that I actually just watched for the first time this week.
She's
yes.
upset. She's offended.
She looks very offended. We have actor, model, content creator, Meghan Landers.
Hello. Thank you.
This movie that we're going to talk about, I watched for the first time this week.
So this should be
And
like
I'm surprised I've never seen it.
You're on your
Yeah,
list
I'm actually
of haven't
pretty
seen it
surprised.
too. Then
I mean, what movie are we watching, talking
yeah.
about tonight?
we are talking about the one, the only, iconic, Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, I hear it's
Very
iconic.
dirty.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it? Oh shit.
I mean,
Mm.
kind of. I mean, it does not hold
What?
a candle to like Christina Aguilera's dirty, but
Yeah, correct.
it was dirty
No,
for
I
the
think
80s.
this is
It was
okay. I
a
was
dirty
talking-
80s
okay,
for sure.
You're right. Okay. There will be grinding.
Oh yeah. Well, why choose this movie, Megan? Of all the movies on our list, this one was like your only choice.
Yeah, well, I was like going through the list and like I had seen a lot of movies, but I wanted to like choose a movie that I was like extremely in love with and passionate about.
Mm.
And I remember the first time I saw it, I think it was in elementary school in my friend's basement, my friend Mackenzie. And she was like, we're going to watch Dirty Dancing. And I was like, oh my God, what's that? And I was just obsessed. I think because I was a dancer, I was a dancer for a really long time,
Uh-huh.
that any dance related movie I was like fully into. And I feel like everyone has their like Patrick Swayze awakening. And that no matter if you're a ghost Patrick Swayze, if you're a Dirty Dancing Patrick Swayze, everyone's like has their time when they're like, wow, this is the Sways. And that was my introduction to him.
So do you think it's acceptable that I'm gonna probably, because I actually can't, I don't know that I've seen him in anything. So if I watch this, is it acceptable to have a Swayze awakening like in your late 20s?
It can happen anytime.
Swayze awakening?
Awakening.
Anytime.
Honestly, though, when you described that, like, is Dirty Dancing like we're gonna say like the girls'
pan's
version of like the guys sneaking the double Titanic VHS to see the boobies? Like, you know what I mean?
Wait,
like, it
what?
sounds like that was like a secret. You're like, we're watching Dirty Dancing in the basement of my friend's house. Like, we're not
because
supposed to.
I don't know how, I forget how old I was, but I was in elementary school and you see his like full chest and he's like gyrating and you're like, what is this? Like, whoa. So I think like at the time when I saw it, maybe
Sensual.
like 10 or 11, that I was just like, oh my God, is this like inappropriate? Like I can't
Am I
show my
allowed?
parents.
Right.
Not supposed to watch this.
That makes sense.
This is
Yep.
bad.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But it's like there's a line. It's like, am I supposed to watch this? Or is like when I was like sneaking the crack while my brother was watching Wild Things, I was like, I'm not supposed to be watching.
I don't know what the fuck that
this.
is. What is that? What the fuck is that?
We'll go over that movie
Add it to
one
the
day.
list.
Wow, that's a movie. Yeah.
Not even a hint. All right, I'm just gonna assume it's like softcore porn or something.
Well, I watched it for the first time this week, but like I knew everything that happened in it because it's just like a reference to movie. It's one of those classic pulp culture references. So I was like, oh yeah, I do know this thing. I know this thing, but never watched it front to back. And it's good. There's a lot of really, really great things in this movie that I was not expecting. So I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not a clue. Like you say that it's really like quoted and stuff. And I know some things. I know they dance. I know she wears a pink shirt and shorts. And that she was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Jennifer Grey.
She makes out with Charlie Sheen.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know all I need to know about this movie. I
She
legit
makes out with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah. You want to hear the synopsis? Okay.
Yes, we do.
Let's hear
Very
it.
much so.
I'm so excited.
Okay. So, here's what we're doing. Okay, so her name's Jennifer. Her real name's Baby. For some reason, some adults named their child Baby because they're stupid. So Baby is like a ballet dancer, I'm going to say. And like she goes to school, she does ballet, and her parents are like, you're only going to do ballet because that's the Lord's dance. And she's like, okay, I'll only do that because that's nice. And then this bad boy comes to school and he's like, I'm a bad boy, therefore I do hip hop dance. And
this is Step Up.
This also might be that movie with Channing Okay. So he shows her hip hop. And then they go to finals. They win first. And nobody puts Baby in the corner because she lives in an abusive home environment, I'm sure, to some capacity. And then they run away on a motorcycle, and that's it.
Wow.
Pretty much aced it. Like I literally
Honestly,
don't know.
Like, I feel like you know Step Up really well.
I thought I knew as I was saying hip hop, I was like, this is Channing Tatum. I know this is Channing Tatum. But
Well, fun fact that the movie is actually based in 1963, so definitely not hip hop dancing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was filmed in the 80s,
the
but
waltz.
in the 60s. Yeah.
Yeah, based in the 60s, swinging 60s.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have no fucking clue what's going to happen. I'm not going to lie. I have no idea. I have no idea. The only references I know is nobody puts Baby in the corner and that they probably dance. That is all I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'm surprised because Family Guy has referenced this movie like a few times, I'm pretty sure.
But I feel like if they have, then perhaps they've said lines that like, or they've made note of things
also, like,
that
famous
like are not obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe.
Of, like,
is this the one with the like pulls the thing and water?
That's Flashdance.
Is that this?
No, that's Flashdance.
No, I know.
Different dance movie.
I know.
There were a lot of dance movies in the 80s.
They all just kind of meld at one point, though, don't they? You know, I know, and especially because like Footloose, and then also Patrick Swayze for some reason is one of those actors. I don't know him, and then Kevin Bacon, and then Val Kilmer for some reason. I don't know why. All three of them,
the princes of the
mush
80s.
in my mind as. Yeah,
the 80s princes.
They're all like the same in my mind.
Our 80s prince, our bad boys.
But you hit on things that were kind of almost like opposite, like not even opposite, but like there's not really an abusive family. In fact, I think the family portion is something that's really, really nice in this movie. Also, no competition. I guess there's not really, no real competition going on. It's not, they don't go to regionals. There's competition, but they don't go to regionals or anything like that.
No.
But
Okay. Well, shit. I'm here for it.
You can't get them all. Like sometimes you get them perfect, and other times you're talking about stuff.
off. It happens.
Well, do we all want to hear about this summary drink I've created?
Yes.
Yes. I call it Baby's Corner. You did know that quote. And it is, it's watermelon and strawberries, blended up with some vodka. And then you shake it all up with ice, pour it in the glass, top it with some champagne, and garnish it with a watermelon or a slice of lime like our dear Meghan has.
Yes. And mine is sans vodka, unfortunately, because I am, as of 3 years ago, allergic to the alcohols.
Oh, yikes.
So
Ooh.
I
Wow.
subbed my version, although I would love, I'm always like, when I get like a non-alcoholic drink, they're like, how is it? I'm like, it's great. Could use some alcohol though. But mine is, I blended like a strawberry Italian soda with watermelon.
Yum.
And topped it with a bit of sparkling water and then a squeeze of lime. That's mine.
There you go.
Sounds so good.
That's nice. That's nice. See that, and that's why I wanted something that is, you could make it alcoholic or
tasty.
non-alcoholic. It's just a good drink all around.
And it's, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For once,
Very
Will makes a good drink.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes they hit. Other times, or they slap, or other times they chug,
I don't know.
Slap
Don't
and
even get me
chew.
started.
Throwing it back.
Yeah. We're bringing back that reference from 2 episodes ago. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we've done the deets. Now it's time to go into more
shit.
details, more deets.
Yeah, the serious details.
Yes.
Oh, fuck. I'm so ready.
Megan.
Yeah.
How does this movie start?
Well, let me set the stage. It's it's a hot summer in upstate New York. You live in the city with your family, and every summer you go to Kellerman's, which is a resort in upstate New York where all the families go in the city to spend the entire summer there, which I feel like is weird because I feel like that's maybe an American thing, or it was a 60s thing.
To spend a
the
whole summer
family is like,
at
we're
like
going
a fancy
the entire
resort.
summer to a resort, and all the other families in the city are
That's
also
a
going.
long time.
Where all the activies feel lame as fuck. Like it's real lame.
Yeah. But you could like get your hair done at this resort, and they're like, oh, but I have, the needlepoint at this time, and then dance lessons at 2, and it's just like it's very like
What
vanilla.
the fuck?
Weird group games. Yeah.
Weird group games. So baby and her family.
Yeah.
She has her mom and her dad, and then she has also a sister who's like kind of like shit on in this movie a little bit, but
Yeah, they don't
glaze
paint her
over
very
her.
well.
They kind of glaze over her. But
Yeah.
anyways, they go up to this resort called
important.
Kellerman's to spend the entire summer there. And that's how it starts.
And it's a Catskills resort in the cat. I don't know what the Catskills are, but it's like an upstate New York thing, right? It's just.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they keep talking, like they always talk about like going back
It's
to the
just-
city.
What is
it's a
that?
weird name.
Catskills.
Yeah.
What is this
So I think they're
Catskills?
from New York. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know. Unlike you lived in New York. Do you know what the Catskills are?
I've never heard of that. No, I don't know what that
No.
is.
Okay.
I lived in the
Yeah.
cool part of New York.
That's true. You live upstate, rich New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. The movie actually opens with like a slow motion, like all these bodies, like in black and white, kind
Oh,
of like
right. Yeah, they're
moving, but, like,
jiving.
images, and
Dancing.
the soundtrack to the whole movie is amazing.
It's, yeah.
So every kind of scene has a song, I would say.
Mm.
It's almost musical, but not quite.
Yeah.
Do they sing? They don't sing.
No,
in
no,
this.
no, they don't sing.
No singing.
No,
Just
the
dancing.
end is very musical, but we'll get to it.
Yes. Yeah.
That is a giant thing of water, Alenka. I just noticed that now. But we'll
18
It's a
liters.
gallon, baby.
Yeah.
Trying to drink
So yeah,
more
they're
water.
driving to this resort. Yeah,
Yep.
the family, and the first thing that popped out to me was Newman from Seinfeld.
Yeah, he's like the
Ah.
director.
Wayne Knight is in this movie. Yeah, he's like he's like the activities director or something. He's like
Yeah.
always with a megaphone yelling at people, and I was like, it's Newman.
I feel like he shows up at the most
and yeah.
random movie times. You're like, oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
like you're getting ready to, you're like really into Jurassic Park, and then you see that kind of opening scene, and then the next scene you're like, Newman, I did not expect him to be in this movie.
Yeah.
He does, yeah. And so we kind of like the Kellerman Resort. They're like good friends with the Houseman family. That's the last name of Baby's family.
Yeah.
But they're like good friends with the owners of these resorts, so they get like special treatment at this
Got
place,
you.
this fancy place.
They're rich.
It's
Super rich.
It's kind of implied
Super
that they're quite wealthy. But her dad's a doctor, which comes in handy later on.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But we'll get to that. Yeah.
And then
And they really just jump into this summer, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, like we're here.
I mean, yeah, they meet up with the Kellermans, yeah.
Yep. And they're kind of like this,
and then they jump in, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Kellermans are a bit of a, I don't know how to like say it. They're just kind of like, I feel like it's weird because it was like the 60s, but I feel like they're still like, oh, my son's single. Like, have you seen my son? Like, so like the Kellerman, the youngest Kellerman son is like trying to get all the hot girls to marry him or whatever. But yeah, it's just like
he's
a weird
manager,
dynamic.
Mr. Manager.
Nice.
Yeah. And then like I'm always confused because when I was watching it, I was like, wait, did they just become friends super fast? But like there's a resort guy who like helps take the luggage and Baby lifts the bag and he's like, oh, you want a job here or something? Like, you're great at hauling luggage. And then later it never sees it's like they're best friends. And I'm like, did they know each other beforehand or is that just their first meeting?
Yeah, it's weird how
they're just best friends now.
How comfy everyone is with all the staff, like right away.
You know what? Let's just assume like they come here every year.
Yeah.
You know,
I guess that's true.
Like,
maybe he already knows her. But then the time in this movie is very like, you know, I think the cut, it's probably been like a week already in, you know, like it's moves pretty fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
and then what happens after that? I'm
to.
trying to think.
Well, the first cut is, I think the first cut after they meet the Kellermans is everyone's just like line dancing.
Right.
And it's like this rockette. There's this woman who used to be a rockette.
She's tall. She's
Penny.
blonde.
And yeah. And she's teaching again, this is the lame ass activities going on. Like all the resort members, young and old, are just like dancing with the rockette, learning how to, I guess, move their feet and do a conga line.
She's like, she's hired. She works for the resort, as does Peaceways. And they're hired to pretty much like
Peaceways
teach the attendees how to dance and like make them feel special. Like, oh, I danced with the Rockette today, you know, just to kind of make their summer a little bit better.
Yeah, dancing huge at this resort. Like I feel like it's their draw. It's like all these dance teachers. Yeah, and there is a scene where like the guy who's one of the staff managers is just talking about to all the men to be like, hey, treat the daughters really nicely, like give them a great time. All the daughters, like, which is kind of a
Baby
weird...
overhears it. She's like, she's looking in, and then the manager is like, we got to treat the daughters right, and blah blah blah. It's just like this very like nauseating little scene where it's like, you know, make the daughters feel special, give them a kiss in the moonlight, or like
even the dogs treat the dogs.
He says even the dogs, so the ugly chicks even treat them good. So I mean, it's problematic.
Well, thank goodness it's
problematic.
We all get our turn.
And then this is when Peaceways enters the scene.
Johnny.
Cool as fuck.
Johnny Castle.
Walks in, Johnny. And the manager is all like, he comes in with his boys. I don't know. They're like the dance men, and he's just like, I don't want you near the daughters. Like he's just like, you fuck everyone on this resort. That's literally what.
To Peaceways?
I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah,
but that's essentially what he says.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Keep your filthy hands.
Well, he rolls in
but
pretty,
I think there's
like,
already
hot shit. Because he comes in with like his leather jacket over his
sunglasses.
It's like me.
Classic.
Yeah.
Me.
Muscles bursting out of his tight shirt, you know. Classic. Now, did the Sways awakening, did it happen at this point, or was it was it more closer to the first like dance scene?
No, it was like the rehearsals. The rehearsal scenes is where
Oh
The
yes,
rehearsal
okay.
scene,
Oh, yeah.
everybody get
Rehearsal.
That's where he
pumped.
gets a little
well, because he's
sweaty.
also like
Sway's
hot, but
awakening.
he's also like very like patient and 10-year-old me was like, oh, he's nice and hot.
The perfect combo.
Wow. And he can dance.
God.
So that's
We
when
We used
the
to
sway-
watch
yeah, not yet.
so little.
Yeah. So he comes in and then they want to like the mambo and the cha-cha. That's what he's like teaching them all. That's kind of like the dance, and it's kind of like, I guess that the mambo and the cha-cha is very, I guess, is that vanilla? You know, it's not. It's
Vanilla.
not dirty dancing.
Yeah.
It's not what,
Mhm.
not what he's good at.
It's just
what
like
he
a
wants
little
to
like
be.
square
Ooh.
step.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so he comes in, that happens. There's also this other staff member. He's like this Italian guy that we kind of meet briefly. And like he starts flirting with baby's sister. He's like, you know,
We
he
just get
seems like a
bad
nice
vibes
boy.
from him right away.
He seems like a nice boy. But yeah. He's got that like, yeah, like real like, this guy's no good.
Well, especially since he was just like all the male staff was just pretty much told to like go, you know, let loose on the daughters pretty much. So you're like,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, did he,
don't like
it's
that.
like, it's not implied, I don't think but that scene is very much seems like he's like, yeah, have sex with the daughters if you can, treat them real nice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's very like,
like,
if you
what
can
is he
squeeze
really
it in your
saying?
schedule,
what does show him a
just
good
make
time
sure you
mean?
fuck at least one daughter.
HR. The manager just told us to have sex with all the daughters.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. He's just doing his job, man.
Oh my God.
But you know what? Because this is an 80s movie, it doesn't have like the way, and if a 90s movie did this, they would like definitely insert like some random guy being like, what about the sons, and do like a gay joke. Like that's definitely what would happen in a 90s movie. But this is an 80s movie, so they don't talk about that at all.
Right.
Yeah.
But
They
she
just care about
briefly,
women.
because you were talking about when
Getting
he's
railed.
dancing, she briefly dances, like baby briefly dances with Johnny at that point. Because she was dancing with that other guy, right?
Okay.
Well, yeah. So the next, I guess like the inciting incident, and also the why there's a watermelon in the drink, is that baby is like wandering around the resort at night and sees that dude that like helped carry the bags, like her friend again. Like I'm like, are they cousins? Are they friends? Or they just know each other really well? Yeah. And he's like, no, like I can't. He's like, oh, I'm just going up to the the back house or whatever. And he's like, no, you can't. It's not for guests. Like it's just resort staff only. And she's like, I can help carry things. So she carries this big watermelon up to
it's like one of the big
like staff house. Yeah.
And you can hear like party sounds and like lights and stuff, and you're like, whoa, what's happening in here?
Yeah.
It almost looks like a tree house.
It's different kind of music. It is, yeah. It's real cool. Honestly, though, I don't know if any of you've watched any of the Nexium documentaries out there, but I thought this was like the Nexium resort that they go to in those documentaries. Like it's a big retreat that all the Nexium people would go to every year, and it looked like that. I was like, is this the cult resort that they filmed it at?
Maybe.
I digress.
Maybe. You never
So
know.
we get to this like scene. Well, actually, we do see Johnny dancing with Penny. They're like dance partners in like the main hall with all the guests. Like they're showing off their dance moves.
And they're
But
like
then
the
they start
best
doing
dancers.
Oh yeah. Like they just like a circle forms around them and they're going crazy. Johnny's got his tux on, but they start getting a little too sexy. They start getting a little too raunchy, and you see the manager just like, stop it. Don't do that. Hands at 10 and 2.
10 and 2.
Well, side note, did you know that Swayze,
you're right.
before he was an actor, was a professional ballet dancer?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Didn't know.
So
No, actually, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, you can look
Not
up pictures
ballet.
of him online in like
Oh.
full like ballet tights
All right,
and
on it,
shoes.
Oh yeah.
on it.
I feel like I know so much about this movie because before I watched this movie, I watched that Netflix special, Our Favorite Movies, or the movies you loved as a kid or something. I forget what it's called, but
Oh,
like they did a
yeah.
Dirty Dancing episode, so I know all these fun facts about it, but I
Right.
never watched it before. So
Oh yeah,
went into it with the fun facts first. Yeah. So yeah, they're dancing with Penny. There's a big, don't be so dirty with it. Go away.
yeah.
And then
Don't be so
Baby's
dirty.
also dancing with what's the manager's
The
son,
manager's
the Kellerman
son.
dude, who's just corny as fuck.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to Yale medicine and blah, blah, like just this kind of classic
Lame.
white dude with the dumb haircut
Smarmy rich
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
who's like
And
flexing.
he
So
like
lame.
takes her up to the dock and is like trying to kiss her, and she's like, no, that's not happening.
Yeah. Well, because Baby
Please
is like
fuck off.
like up until this point too. Like she's like very
What's
like-
her vibe?
she's innocent. She's like an innocent, like how old is she? Like
Okay,
18? She wants to join the Peace Corps. That's her vibe.
cute.
So she's
Yeah,
like very
she's like
sweet.
innocent, but she's also activist a little bit. Like she
Yeah.
really wants to help people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's like perceived as just like this, nice daughter until
Girl.
Until
Oh, God.
she walks
Okay.
up to this staff house with
With
the
the
watermelons
watermelon in
with
her hand.
face. And then they walk in and holy shit, the grinding going on in
There's
this scene.
Mm.
there is a lot
Mm.
of gyration happening. Like the doors open and like the music's changing. It's like this like
Stunning.
sexy little like I don't know what you call it for the 60s, I guess. Kind of
Just like dry humping on each other's legs.
yeah,
essentially.
like it's
That's what you
intense.
do.
I mean, everyone in the room. Yeah.
And there's close-up
Good
shots.
lord.
You're just like, whoa!
Oh no!
Oh, yeah.
Oh no!
It's like,
I wasn't ready.
Like it's just like heads going down to the crotch and back up.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh.
she's just standing there like watching it like, oh, what is this?
And she's
it's
holding the
like, this is how
watermelon. She's
we
like,
dance.
what? She's like, what did I walk
And then-
into?
Mm.
And then
Bunch
Johnny
of
and Penny
horny
come into
people.
the room
Yeah.
and they're clearly the best dancers and they're just like going crazy with it. But it's like they're doing their dancing they kind of were doing in the main hall, but then suddenly it's like way closer, way dirtier,
Yeah.
just rubbing everywhere.
Rubbing.
Yeah.
Cute, cute, cute,
Yeah.
cute. Like it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like at this point in the movie was my like Sway's awakening. He's just like a
Right.
madman here with the dancing.
Yeah, he's
Like he just spent all night dancing for tourists and then he comes up here and goes even crazier. It's like this guy's
Goes
got
ham.
energy.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's got stamina. Okay.
Stamina, baby.
That's what you need for dirty
Swayze
dancing.
stamina.
Oh. Make sure Will
And then what?
send
He
me
walks
this
up to
movie.
her.
It's
that
on
the-
Netflix.
Is that the moment
fuck
when
yes.
and he's like when he walks up to her?
Yeah, he walks up to her friend
Right.
after he's done like literally like having sex on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And is like, hey, like what's she doing here? Because it's very
She's-
clear she's not staff because I
Yeah.
guess all the staff obviously know each other, but they're just like,
Mm.
she's not supposed to be there.
Right.
She's gonna go run and tell manager. That's what they all like
Are
because
worried
they
about.
know that she's been like dancing with the manager's son or like their
Yeah, so
families.
they're afraid for their jobs,
cozy with
essentially.
the
Right.
managers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so she's like you can tell she's like kind of into Johnny because like she's like really like doesn't know what to say. So then all she says is, I carried the watermelon. And he's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Which is
Because
a
this
very famous
it's his
line.
cousin. Yeah, it's super
Never heard
big.
it before.
But it's his cousin. So Johnny is this dude's the resort guy who's friends with Baby.
Yeah.
I should get his name at some point. But
Yeah,
his
we can look it
cousin.
up.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how that's their meet cute, and that's her Sway's awakening, I'm sure.
Swayze. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And she's like watching them dance, and then Swayze then eventually comes up and is just like grabs baby and starts dancing with her. Not like unconsensually,
Oh.
just like teaching her like, yeah, move this way. Yeah, shake,
How to
you know,
dance. And she's
move
like
your hips
very
this way,
awkward.
step this
Booty.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
She,
especially after
she
what
is a
she
dancer
saw.
though, right?
Jennifer Grey
Yeah.
was a dancer, yeah.
Well, like, but is baby supposed to be kind of like she knows a bit of dancing, or is this like from like Zero to Hero type
No,
movie?
I don't think it's
Mm.
implied that she was ever a dancer. Like probably like
no, like
you know,
yeah.
formal training or like anything. Like I think like the base level would be like she goes to the classes at the resort, maybe.
Yeah.
But she's not
Yeah,
like a
just, like,
dancer because she's
four-step
moving
line
really
dancing.
awkwardly, right?
Oh yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
she's like, I don't know
Yeah.
what to do. Well, especially after she saw everyone like dry humping, she's like,
Yep.
she's like,
Well, he teaches her how to dry hump. He's like, yeah, move your hips like this, and he's like, you know, real gyrated, and she's literally just like a fish, just flopping back and forth.
Oh, poor girl.
But then they
So
get real
awkward.
close, and she's having a good time,
yeah.
Oh,
and it's like, ooh, but then he just walks away. He's just like,
he literally
fuck
just
off.
walks away.
Yeah.
He kind of does,
Cute.
actually, if I remember correctly. They're dancing all close, and then he just walks away, and she's having a good time, and that's their
And
first
she's like,
meeting.
she's
Okay.
flustered. She's like, whoa, this guy is something.
Yeah, she ain't never seen no dry humping like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like
And then
they're like she's like they're trying on wigs. And again, weird activities going on here. They're like getting haircuts. They're trying on wigs.
hell?
Yeah.
Come to
Only
the
the best
resort and
wigs.
try on wigs. They're real
yeah, just
human
weird
hair,
activities,
probably.
Weird activities.
Yeah. And
Perfect.
like the creepy dude is flirting with her sister again.
Yep.
But then Penny's there too, I guess, like helping them with the wigs. I don't know. I guess she's like the dance teacher and the wig
Yeah,
teacher.
I think they maybe figured like, oh, you're a dancer. You know how to do hair and makeup, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the connection
Yeah.
there.
But this is kind of the first moment where they kind of really bring up the whole like the class difference, because like baby approaches her because
Right.
Johnny comes down and baby's just like watching Swayze, just, you know, eyes glued.
Mhm.
He walks away and then she's like, oh, so you're a cat? That's really cool. You know, I've always wanted to do something, be a dancer or something like that. And Penny's just like, yeah, well, my mother kicked me out when I was a teenager, so it's all I could do, sort of thing. And so you kind of get the sense like, oh, you know, they come from the streets, these white people.
Teachers.
Yeah, or she's the doctor's daughter from the city. So
Mhm.
she's from a wealthy family.
Yeah, so that's the kind of the first thing. That's a big part of this movie, which is like class divide
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
kind of, you know, you can't, you know, judge a book by its cover sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's already like hostile tensions between Penny and Baby at this point.
Right.
And at this point,
Yeah.
we don't know Penny and Johnny's relationship really.
It's very
They're just
confusing.
like dance partners.
They've danced.
Because
Yeah.
they're dry humping, but we're like, are they an item? Are they putting on a show? We don't know. Everyone's very
Okay.
aloof.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so later, it's like later that night, or I think it's the same night, or a week later, or a month later. Who
We don't
knows
know. It's
how-
the summer.
Time is weird in this movie. Yeah.
It's the summer.
Well, yeah.
Summer break,
Because it is,
baby.
like to jump forward. It's like, oh, and the summer's over. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Time is weird.
The end of the movie is the end of the summer.
The movie
Yeah.
lasts 3 months.
And so, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so, like they're again at an event where people are dancing. Johnny's there dancing,
Yep.
and the fucking manager kid is all like, "Baby, like let's hang out
Let's
tonight."
party.
And they're like walking through they're walking through like the kitchen area in the staff.
Yep.
And
He's showing her the ovens.
Baby notices, she sees Penny, showing her the ovens. Penny notices, or sorry, Baby notices Penny like curled up crying in the corner, but no, she's kind of hiding herself, but she notices her.
Yeah.
So like she like is like, oh, fuck face. I don't know his name.
Because he doesn't see Penny
Manager's son.
crying. So he's like, oh, I think
No, he doesn't see her at all.
I don't know what he says or what she says to get him away. Like,
well, she like comes up with an excuse. Yeah, like let's go. And then she goes and tells her friend. I should really get names, but her friend who's Johnny's cousin, but her friend, her resort friend. Let's just call him resort friend. Like about this. Yeah. And so he tells Johnny and they rush over to help her. And it's like, we don't know what's happening. And then the cousin tells Baby that Penny's pregnant. And yeah. And Baby's all like, what's he going to do about it? And then Swayze turns around and goes like, oh yeah, because it's mine. Right. And then like walks off. Because
yeah,
it's
they just
clear that
assume
it's not his, apparently.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That they're an item.
And he's all pissy about it.
Yeah, it's like this, and it's also like kind of like I don't even know if it's a class difference, but like just showing, because Baby has no idea what to do about like this information, right? She's never like had these types of dramas
these
in
issues
her life,
before.
so it's like kind of like an eye-opening situation for her. I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And they find so like Johnny like carries her to a weird shed or something. It's like an area where they're all hanging out on this couch. It's kind of like a junk shed area with a couch. And they're all like, why is she here? And she's like, oh, like I just want to help. And they find out that it's actually Creepy Dude's baby.
Ew.
Like Creepy Dude knocked her up.
Creepy Dude who was talking to Baby's sister.
Hitting on Baby's sister. Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah. So that's our first indication that this guy is no good.
Trash. He's trash. He's motherfucking
Yeah, because I think
trash.
Penny
He's
says
a big
like
dumpster.
he doesn't want to do anything with her, and you know he knocked her up, and he's moving on.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yep. He don't care. Cool.
So
cool guy.
Basically they're like, we need a doctor, or we need like money, right?
Yes.
I think at this point they say that.
Yeah, I think like it's not, I don't know if they say that she wants to get an abortion, but she's like, I don't have the money to do what I need to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
because even in the 80s, you couldn't say that word out loud in a movie.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think you assume that. And then, we need the money. And like Baby actually tells Robbie's his name. I realized Robbie is his name. Is the dick guys that she's pregnant. He's just like, she's like, oh, she slept with half the resort. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, fuck you.
Because, I think she goes to him for like money and help or something. And then does she go to her dad right after that?
And she's like, she's like, well, one, she's like, stay the fuck away from my sister because you're obviously trash.
Yep.
But then she goes to her dad, and their relationship is like so nice. Like he's so nice and supportive, and basically no questions asked. She's like, I need $250. And he's like, why? He's like, I can't tell you, but I promise it's for something good. And he's like, okay. Here's $250.
Yeah. Right.
So it's nice, you know?
It is nice.
That's good. I guess.
Trust her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because she's like, she says like, you know, you always told me if someone was in trouble, like that I should help. So this is that. Yeah. This is what I'm doing. I'm helping someone.
So so she gets the money, and then I'm trying to think if like scenes happen in between that and then the terrible.
Well, she gets the money. I remember, gets the money and is like, here's the money. Then she's just like, oh my God. Yeah. But then Penny's like, no, I can't take it. And it's because it's like the only appointment she can get is on this big, like they have to perform this real big dance number at a different resort.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, that's the only time. And then she's like, well, basically it's just like, what if I learned the dance? Or like, you know, Sway's kind of like makes fun of her. Is like, what, you going to learn the dance? And then, you know, his cousin's like, well, she ain't too bad. Didn't you see her the other night grinding up on you?
Yeah. Because they're worried about they're worried about the dance.
Yeah.
That's the
They
big
need to like
thing.
do the big dance at this other resort, their big show. So that's it. They're like, baby will learn the dance in like a week.
Gotcha.
And that way Penny can go take care of it, I guess, or whatever
As
they
they
said.
say in the
Do what she
80s.
needs to do. Yeah.
Yes, just take care of it. And yeah,
Just
so
take
then
care of it with $250.
yep. And she's gonna be Johnny's partner for this dance. And he's not too thrilled about it because he knows that she's not a good dancer.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
he's
Okay,
not
then.
super into the
So
idea.
he is patient, but also pretty like
He's a bit of a
frustrated
dick sometimes. He's like, no, this. So
He
yeah.
is. Well, I don't know if you know, do you know much of the behind the scenes of this, but they fucking hated each other for half the
Oh,
movie.
for real? For
Yeah.
That's
real?
like really
No
well known that
way.
they did not get along, which is crazy.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
For like half of it, apparently. Like, so they apparently were in this other movie. What's it called? Red Dawn, I
Yes,
believe.
Red Dawn. Yeah.
They're in another movie together and had a bad experience with each other. But they did this screen test for this Dirty Dancing movie and had such chemistry. That's why they were cast. So like, you guys had the like amazing chemistry. And apparently, like when they were butting heads on set, it came to a point where it's like they could barely be in the room together. The director or the producer was like, you need to go, like they made them separately go watch their screen test and see like how much chemistry they had. And then they came back on a little more like happier to work with each other. Cause they were like, you're right. It looks amazing.
But it's
Wow.
crazy, right? Because you would never think
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
watching the movie, you're like, wow, like they're so in tune with each other and they have such chemistry. But then like, I remember finding that out a long time ago that they like did not get along. And you're just like, what?
Wow.
Apparently, like
It's
I
love.
Interesting.
wanted to try to
love.
find like direct quotes of like them talking trash. But I couldn't find all I could.
Just throwing shade.
Well, I think the common thing I like, or was like, oh, someone said about what Jennifer said that she thought he was like he was a really serious, took himself really seriously and was like a very serious actor, and she thought he was a bit too uptight. I guess that was the rumor.
Okay.
She wanted to have a bit
And
more
so
like fun.
Yeah.
So there's this like montage. This is kind of montage now where she's like learning to dance with Sways.
Sways.
Yeah.
And famous scene of her like practicing by herself on the stairs like over and over again.
Yep.
Which is really nice. It's a fun scene.
Yeah, lots of like stepping on his toes. And he's like, no.
Yeah.
He's like,
she's like dancing in her tippy toes because she's going to be in high heels, sort of thing.
yeah. So just a big dance
Cute.
montage of her getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that is this there in this scene, there is the where they're practicing like the like he's like moving his hand down her body on the side. And the fun fact about that is like that's real like footage outtakes because she kept laughing and he kept getting real frustrated like as actors.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So they
it's
just
like it's supposed
used
to be
the
this like
outtakes because it
sensual.
looked really nice.
Funny.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like this like very like it's the opening of their number that's like very sensual. Like her arms like up here. You know, you can't see it, but then he's like trailing his arm down her armpit, and she's just
For
like
our viewers, Megan has lifted her arm and then she's moving her other hand down her arm.
Yeah.
yes, very a soft caress, and she keeps laughing, and he's getting really pissed off because she's not a serious dancer.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But it's like genuine
serious
laughing,
acting.
genuine frustration from the Sways dog.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's enticing me to watch alone. That right there. I gotta see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's nice. Oh yeah, and then this montage happens to Hungry Eyes.
Yeah, and then Penny's helping out too.
I feel the magic between you and I. Yeah,
there's a very like
She's
sensual scene between Baby and Penny.
Everything's sensual.
Where they're like she's like so Baby's in the middle, Swayze's on the other side, and then Penny's behind her, and they're like trying to get her to practice like moving her hips correctly, and they're like both holding on to her. So there's like this weird like triad dance thing happening.
yeah,
right.
Yeah, and Swayze is like,
Classic.
"What's happening? I don't know what's happening."
He's
there is a
watching
lot
them.
of, yeah.
He watches them dance together.
There is a lot of just like half like half naked, like holding and like shots of hips and grabbing. It's very, very dirty dancing.
Dirty, baby.
Yeah. And this is where the majority of him shirtless, sweaty, teaching her.
This is the moment.
Is this the Sway's awakening?
This is
the
it.
Sway's awakening.
This is the Sway's
baby.
awakening. Well, because also he was like very
Yes.
like he had a good tan on, I think, and we were just like, wow, like he's wearing these dress pants with
It
no
was
shirt.
summertime.
God damn.
Oh yeah.
Cute look.
And they have a good time. They have fun. Yeah. And they're just getting closer and closer, but then the montage culminates to like they're practicing, and then she messes up and it's pouring rain out.
Yep.
And it's just like, they've been basically practicing all week. And so he's like, well, let's
He's
get out of here.
frustrated.
Let's get out of the resort. And then the weirdest fucking scene ever, they run out into the pouring rain to his car. And he's like, I locked the keys inside. So he just like kicks out this fucking pole out of the ground and just smashes his window
What?
in.
He just,
I'm like,
he's like, oh, I forgot the
that's
keys.
a little
Okay.
extreme.
Yeah, that was so weird. And you're just like,
Smashes it.
yeah, smashes his own window.
Little
Yeah.
dramatic guy. Little
yeah, and
dramatic.
it's pouring rain.
Like, that's how we do it in the streets. That's how
Yeah.
we do it when you
Cat
come from the
skills,
streets. You just
baby.
break your damn window. Yeah.
Cat skills.
Oh
And
my
then they
gosh.
drive to a place where it's suddenly not raining and it's
Yeah.
nice and sunny. So
That's
the
how
rain
weather
stopped.
works.
Yep. Yeah, I know. And they practice because she's like stepping on him a lot and kind of falling sometimes. So they practice dancing on a log, on this like log over like a little creek.
A crick.
And then and another fun fact, you hear about this movie is that Swayze he insisted on doing his own like stunts, even though there's not like a lot of stunts in this movie. But this scene of him like trying to dance on this log, they're like, let someone else do this. And he apparently like broke his hip or something. Like he really fucking damaged
Wow.
his
God,
legs
I didn't know
because he
that.
fell so many times on this log. Yeah.
What a
Oh
turd.
my god.
And it's just like, oh, like permanent damage type stuff. And you're like, for the art.
Such a serious actor. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then this is where they practice
But yeah,
the famous lift, right?
yeah, the famous lift.
The famous lift. So I don't know. This is
Yeah.
what I was
Which I'm
saying.
going to
like, the
guess they
famous
don't really
image
get.
of him holding her over his head. So he's
Okay,
practicing. They're
that,
practicing
yes,
a
I know.
field,
Yeah.
and she's like failing hard. She's falling all over the place.
Because you need to go
would.
all into it, but she's like she holds up at the last minute and like, no, you got it, and they're not doing it. And he's like, well, you know what? It's easier to practice in water, which is the smoothest line. It's like, let's go swimming.
Okay.
So yeah,
so they practice
practice
the lift in
yeah.
the water, and yeah,
and they
and it's
nail it.
all
Like,
Sexy.
fun and it's all cute.
everyone's
Yeah.
Oh, they do nail it in the water.
They do,
Sweet.
yeah. Well, she
Yeah.
he's lifting her up,
Okay.
and then she kind of like flies over his head. But then they do nail it for sure, and
Nice.
everyone's
Yeah.
wet.
It's
and
the famous. She's dripping wet.
she's wearing a
Yeah.
white T-shirt too.
It is. It's sexy. Yeah.
She's sexy.
Yeah, they're having a good time.
They just wanted
They
this to
really
be a
look-
sexy movie.
Like they're like really clicking, in this movie. Like that's the
Yeah.
chemistry right there.
Yeah, I think this is the moment too where
But
you're
they
like,
nail it.
they're getting along.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, finally.
Well, he didn't see her as like
that's
an
the best
annoying-
way to like really increase a relationship in a movie is just do a montage, and then you can go from like we hate each other, we don't really know each other, I'm rich, you're poor, to we love each other in like 5 minutes. It's very
Yeah.
easy.
That's
Yeah.
so true.
Oh my gosh.
Movie magic, baby.
And so like Penny, there's a scene where like Penny and Baby talk a bit.
Yeah.
I believe. And Penny just like lets her know, like, hey, like I'm not some like slut or anything. Like I actually liked Robbie. I thought that he'd
He was the
want to
one.
be with me.
Mm,
Yeah. But he is a dick.
but he's a fucking loser asshole.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
very unfortunate. The actor who played him apparently died like 2 years later, very young.
Oh my god.
Ah.
I didn't know that.
Because I looked at that actor and I was like, he looks so familiar. Like I feel like I've seen him in tons of stuff, but I definitely did not because he only did
Oh,
like 3
no.
movies. This is his
Oh.
last movie, so
Yikes.
it's very unfortunate.
That's so sad.
It is. Thanks
That
for
he
being a
played
downer.
Just the
Will.
worst dick ever.
Yeah, that's his last movie, and that's what he's known for. Sorry.
Yep. R.I.P.
Rip.
Yeah. So
And then I
I'm
think
getting kind of mixed up with what
no,
happens.
I feel like next
but-
happens. So she's talking to her, and then I think like
Oh, it's the performance, right? Yeah.
What?
yes, the
It's the
performance
big
happens.
performance
yes, they go
at
to
the resort. Yeah, at the other resort.
Oh,
Yeah.
other resort.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she's getting all done up. She's like,
And I have the yeah.
there's a
Yeah,
montage
she has
where
the pink
Penny
dress
is like,
on.
you know,
Is it a dress?
getting like a dress for her and doing her makeup and her hair and whatnot.
Mhm.
And I think she
And
tells
she's almost
Right.
she's like unrecognizable in this scene and when they're dancing
oh,
at the
when I
resort.
watched
You look
this
at it,
the
you're like,
other
I don't
week,
even
They made her, the makeup is just so bad. I'm like, why? Who did this to her? Who did this to her?
it's so
Why
Like, I
did
know
they
it's the
do
80s,
this?
but
painted
please.
yeah.
But come on.
And because she is just like this curly hair, but it's all like kind of
Well, they-
done up, and it's like
they
you're
put her in a
like,
French
is that the same
twist.
actress?
They put her in a, like, it doesn't make any sense either. Like, me as
Okay.
like someone who's really into fashion and beauty, I'm like, they put her in a French twist. This is supposed to be a fun little dance. Why is her hair not out and like flowing? And then they
Right.
put,
Why is
They
her
do-
hair business?
yeah, like it's all like up. And then they do a classic blue, 80s blue eyeshadow with like a red lip. So
Mm.
she just
Mhm.
looks
That was
a
This is
lot.
the
fashion.
60s. She's supposed to be like
Yeah, but it's an 80s
supposed to be like the
look.
60s,
I don't know.
you know, perfect lady. I know. They weren't really too concerned
Consistent.
about that, you know, continuity of years.
I didn't care.
But they're doing the dance and they get to the lift part and she doesn't do it. She like,
chickens out.
you know, she backs out in the last minute and then she starts doing this like little thumbs in the air kind of move and it's like totally
Like
not part of this
awkward.
dance. You're like, that's funny.
And then he's just like work.
She
He
did
just
it,
like whispers to her like, oh, like work with it, or he like, you know, encourages her to. We just got to finish the dance, and they finish it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all good. And then he drives her back to the resort because they're at a whole different resort and she like lied to her parents. Like
Yeah.
they don't know where she is.
Right.
Well, she told her sister, I think, like if like tell mom and dad I have like a headache or something, and I'm at the cabin or whatever
Yeah.
to buy her time, and she's like, oh, okay. And then
Yeah. And then they get there and resort friend, Johnny's cousin, is like, it's Penny. Something's
wrong.
Something's wrong with her. She's like sick. And it was because she got, a backroom
A botched
abortion. And
Uh-huh.
something's botched. Yeah. She's really messed up. So
Oh no.
baby very bravely runs to her place and her father, the doctor. And
Right.
she's just like, you need to help me right now. You
Yeah.
need to help these people.
Yeah.
And
Right.
he's like, oh, okay.
So then, she
He's
brings
got his
him.
doctor's bag. I guess doctors always bring their doctor's bag no
That's
matter what.
what
They're like,
I
I've
was
got my
wondering.
bag
As
with
we
scalpels.
That was the one thing that I saw, pointed out right away
Do you
when I
think
recently watched it. I was like, so he,
An obligation?
like he goes on vacation, can't forget the doctor's bag.
Yeah.
Well, like, you know how
Like, our
like there's the
doctors, like-
trope of like being on
Yeah.
a plane or like being in the middle
Yeah,
of nowhere and someone's like, is
exactly.
anyone a doctor? Like,
Yeah. If
you
I
need
was
your
and I was on
stuff.
vacation, I'd be like, I'm going to be silent. I'm on vacation. I'm not doing
no, you
this.
would not, Will. You would not. You liar.
I would help people. I know.
Oh, yeah,
Lying
he would.
bastard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
So
pretty botched.
he helps her
'cause,
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it shows like blood
But
all
he
on the
helps her out
sheets.
and everyone's like, oh yeah. But everyone's like, oh, thank you so much. But he does not look impressed at all. He's just like, no. Like,
Well, he sees
No,
Yeah, he
what,
saved
my
her life.
dude? Like, no, what? What
Well,
are you
he sees
knowing
the
at?
staff as
though?
kind of
like,
or
really?
these people as kind of like delinquents and troublesome, and he's like,
yeah. Or
this
less
is not
than,
right for
you
my
know?
baby, and right.
Yeah, and
Okay.
he basically tells baby like you don't see them again. You will not be seeing those people ever again
Okay.
because he
Doctor
is
bitch.
just he's a little judgmental
Yeah,
at this point.
Ass.
yeah,
Yeah.
Although I always
Okay.
thought it was nice that he, like, it was no questions asked. He went and helped out. He wasn't just like, no, I'm not doing that. I thought it was very, very admirable.
He still has a heart.
Yeah.
You know?
especially for an
Yeah.
80s
It's like,
movie.
I'll
you're
do
like,
it, but I think you're trash.
yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
It's like, but never call me again.
I don't respect you.
So, but baby goes to Johnny's room. Johnny gets a whole big ass like cabin to himself. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
You know,
Yeah,
he
he has
doesn't
his
get
own
bunk beds
spot.
or anything. He gets a
How
whole
dare.
place. And they like, he goes there and like, she wants to basically like apologize to Johnny
Yeah.
because her father like treated him very rudely and stuff.
Right.
But he's very like impressed by her dad. Like he's like, can't believe like he saved her sort of thing.
Mm.
And then they like dance together and it's hot.
And is it still raining?
Cute.
I think it's raining.
It's probably
still.
raining outside, but they're not outside. They're inside.
They're inside, but no, you could hear the
They-
rain.
they
It's
put
like
on.
there's like
Steaming up.
a record player going. It's very like rustic.
Cute.
Oh yeah. Well, he also, I
They're in
forgot.
love.
He says this thing like he's like you going to your dad, like that's so brave. Like you're one of the bravest
so
people I know.
brave.
You're like
You're like
you're
one of the
amazing. Like he's
bravest
just like
people I
showering her
know.
with the compliments. She's like, I'm scared of everything. I didn't know anything I was looking at in there. It's scary, all that blood. And then they dance and she starts taking her clothes off in the dance and she starts like kissing his fucking clavicles and
It's on.
That is.
It's steamy.
They don't fuck,
It's dirty.
baby.
And this is the 80s, well, 60s, but
It's
the 80s.
filthy.
There's no raunchy sex scene. We just,
It's
implied.
implied.
No.
the dirty was done. Yeah, it was done.
Damn.
Dancing with the devil.
Dirty
Exactly.
fucking.
So yes.
they're together for their first night.
Yep.
Cute.
Yeah.
And
And
then there was
it's the next morning. They're all at breakfast.
Yeah.
Not Johnny, but the family, the Housemans, and the manager Dick is like, oh, I need your help with the big talent show we have at the end of the
Another
season. Now it's like
stupid
nearing
thing.
this is like the end of the season.
another
Yeah.
stupid
Another
thing.
lame ass thing. Yeah. And the
We
dad
like
is just like, oh no, we're leaving tomorrow because he's immediately just like, I need to get baby away from these people.
Yeah,
and
okay.
her sister
Too late,
is
my
just
dude.
like, but I was gonna sing in the talent show.
Aw.
And so
Poor girl.
Like we
and
don't
they're
want
like,
to
what?
miss
We're
that.
leaving? No, we have to stay till the end. And he's like, I want to beat the weekend traffic. Every dad wants to
Liar.
beat the weekend traffic. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so they convince the sister and the mom convince him to stay, so they stay. But really, he's just like, I gotta get my daughter away from these
Sinners.
rapscallions, these scoundrels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rapscallions. Yes.
Wow, I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah. But baby like goes and visits Penny, and like Penny's dad or baby's dad was just there, like Mr. Houseman was just there to like check in on her.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, your dad's so nice and everything. So it's like you see that, you understand that he's like he can care as a doctor, but he still has this judgment as a
Super
rich person.
protective.
He has an
Right.
oath to swear when it comes to medicine, but fuck poor people any other time.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we forgot the weird, creepy lady who wants to have sex.
Oh yeah, there's like an old lady.
Well, no, because they're getting ready for the talent
not
show.
the old. Sorry.
And then there's this woman
Yeah.
who, like, I feel like it's a weird. I feel like it's implied to me that the husband knows that his wife is fooling around with the staff. There's this
Yeah.
very well-to-do lady, and she has
Disturbed.
her eyes.
How old are we talking?
Oh, she'd be what?
When you say old lady, I'm picturing like in her 70s. What am I?
Yeah. Well, there is a moment where, well, before this, we kind of find out from like I remember we do see Johnny dancing with this lady earlier, like way before, like just before we find out Penny's pregnant. He's like dancing with her, but then baby and Johnny are just finished a good fuck sesh and they're talking in bed, and he's talking about like she wants to know how many women he's slept with, like, but she's like curious in a fun way, but he's just like, it's shitty, like all these women like throw themselves at me, and he thinks, at first he thought he was super lucky, but now he realizes these women are just using him. They don't care about him. They're not like, he's basically paid to have sex with them, so he doesn't feel very good about it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because the husbands are all like, hey, like, give my wife some extra dance lessons.
Yeah,
and
wink.
dance lessons is just, wink, wink. Yeah.
Nice.
So anyways, this lady comes up to him
Fuck,
again
man.
and is like, oh, like, we have our session. I'm thinking, this day. And he's like, no, I'm good. And baby sees that and she's like, my man.
She's like,
She's
my
happy that he
guy.
refuses.
He's turning down an old lady.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
And then there is a moment where they're like practicing more dancing up in this place. And this is a famous scene. This is a scene the Family Guy did, but they put Stewie's head on Swayze's body instead of Patrick. But they literally took the whole scene, but then just put Stewie's head
my gosh,
where he's like crawling towards him. And it's, yeah.
Yeah, it's the scene where she's wearing like a white shirt and jean shorts, like long jean shorts, and he's all in black.
Yeah.
And they're
and they're like dancing
they're
and he's like
singing
crawling
along to
towards her.
Love is
I
Strange
know that one.
by, I forget the people. Sylvia.
Yeah, she's like, oh, come here, lover boy.
Yeah,
they're lip
right.
syncing.
Sylvia.
Yeah.
Yes, Mickey. How do you call your lover boy? Come here, lover boy. And if he doesn't answer, and it's like this whole like back and forth. And then they're just like crawling towards each other.
So odd.
And then they
So weird.
grind up on each other.
Food. And then, then Manager Dick walks in.
Yeah.
And treats him like shit again. Yeah. And is like, the manager comes in, he's like, I've got some big ideas for the dancing. And then Johnny's like, oh yeah, I've got great ideas too. And the manager's just like, cha-cha and tango. And it's like, oh, the same shit we always do.
Right.
Great idea.
He's like, yeah, that's what you're going to do. And then he like walks by baby. He's just like, I hope you're getting what you're paying for with these extra dance lessons or whatever. Like, he's not fun to talk to, but he's a great dancer sort of thing. And it's like just insulting this guy whatsoever.
Right.
Because he's a little dick. He's
a big bitch.
He's a prick. Yeah.
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 And so we see more of this like degradation of Johnny as a less than person.
Yeah. Just as like a bad boy. Well, yeah, because that's when and I just remembered that I don't know if it happens probably now-ish or like maybe a little bit later on, but that older woman is so pissed. Remember, she sees baby leave
she needs to grow up.
Johnny's cabin. And she wants revenge.
What a fucking psycho.
And there is also a scene where you see Robbie and baby's sister walking with Dr. Houseman. Like they're like he's like this respectable man, and Dr. Houseman actually really likes him and is like, yeah, like you're, you'd be a fine son-in-law type thing. Like even though they just met. But and they know that he's a dickwad. And Johnny sees this and he's kind of just like, I'll never, will I ever, gain respect from your dad that way? Like, am I ever going to meet your dad?
For you.
No,
as your
Johnny,
boyfriend sort of thing.
Won't.
Yeah. Yeah. So but then that happens where
the older woman
sees baby leave. And she tells, she says that her bag or her
husband's
something
wallet was stolen.
Value her husband's wallet, and she's like, it was Johnny that stole it.
So because Johnny won't sleep with her, she's gonna get Johnny fired.
She's trash.
Yuck.
What
she's
a
terrible.
Fucking psycho.
I know.
Yeah. And so at breakfast the next morning or lunch, they're all like, the Housemans are at the table with the Kellerman guy. And they're like, one of our staff like stole it. Yeah, it was that Johnny kid. He's like, I knew he was no good. It's not. And like baby's sitting there like, well, no, how do you know I don't think it was John. No, I don't think so. And then finally she reveals like, it can't be Johnny because I was with him all night that night.
Oh,
like, it's not,
shit. And, like at breakfast
no.
with her parents.
Oh no.
Because they're like, how do you
she
know?
dropped it.
Because we fucked. Okay, Mom and Dad.
Okay, Dad. Is that good enough for you?
We had super hot sex, Dad.
We did the cha-cha.
We call it dirty dancing, but really it's just the sex, Father.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah.
That's how you tell your parents.
That's how you do it.
And then this is a really great scene. There's just so much emotion in this scene, but like Dr. Houseman is like sitting on the dock, very upset about his daughter being with this rapscallion. And she super emotional, is just like, I never want to disappoint you. Like I love you, you're my father, but like you disappoint me. Like you told me that we should help people, but it's very clear now that it's only certain people you want to help. Like, basically just like you need to respect all people and not just if they have money or not. Yeah. And he sits there like, and when she starts crying and says, but I'm disappointed in you too, he starts like getting really emotional. It's just a great scene because it really shows him he's such like a human guy, and he's not like some like, hey, I'm a dad. He's literally just like, I'm questioning all my beliefs right now.
Oh, it's so nice. Oh, it's such a good moment.
It is.
I haven't seen it, but I just feel like that will really make me cry when I watch it later.
I know. I mean, when a grown father man like is on the verge of tears, it gets
and like
you
when
emotional.
He, like when any like older man, like in movies and like in real life, like, comes to terms with the fact that they've been living their lives like wrong or like in a way that they want to change. And they're just like, oh, that is
that's
the best. It's so sad.
Yeah.
It's weird that her mom isn't really a big character. The mom's just there to be.
No, not really. Her mom literally is just like one of those. Yeah, like, oh, keep your back straight, baby. Like,
baby,
she's
keep your back straight.
Like always, like
she's like in one scene golfing,
criticizing her a little bit, but not even that much.
Yeah.
Really.
That's all you need from her.
She's doing one of the activities, whatever.
Yeah, she's busy. She doesn't have time to be a mom.
Yeah. So Johnny comes up to her, and so this is like why I mentioned there's this old couple, this like old lady and her husband, and like they're kind of in the movie for a little bit, but they find out like they're the thieves. These old people are
like these other
ones who
couple,
stole
like really
his
old,
wallet, because his wallet actually did get stolen. Yeah,
like super sold.
Yeah, like grandma and grandpa. Like
they need their
so the wallet was actually stolen, but they like also he says something like they fingerprinted the glasses. Like what do they got? Fucking CSI 1960 in the Catskills Resort? Like what's going on here?
They splurged big. They can't have that sort of tomfoolery happening.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though. Like I'm pretty sure Hoover didn't start like the FBI till like the 50s with the fingerprint thing. I don't know if it got to the Catskills resorts by the 60s, but whatever.
It
did. Anyway, but Johnny says like they still fired him though because he was sleeping with baby. Like the managers like fired him.
Yeah.
Okay, but
and so she's like, I did it for nothing. Like I told everyone and I tried to help you and it's all for nothing. Like, and she basically just like gives up on being like, a helper. She's like, they're going to win. The rich people will always win. Like, the system sucks and we'll never win. You'll always be crap and I'll always be fighting for nothing sort of thing. Oh, and he's like, no, you can't believe that. You can't think that way or something.
Something like that. We weren't paying attention. We were just looking at his face.
We were looking at his bod.
We were just looking at his abs.
His abs.
Yep.
And then, what is it, the talent show now? Or because they had like a little bit of a tiff and then he goes, actually, he confronts Dr. Houseman. He's like, he just was like, if you could see what I see in baby, like she's amazing. And he's like, I know what I see. Like my daughter.
You moved in on an innocent girl after you knocked up your partner. Like, because he still thinks that Johnny is the one who knocked up Penny sort of thing. Or that's what he thinks or suspects.
Got you. Oh, okay.
He doesn't know it was his other daughter's new friend Robbie, who he's enamored with right now.
Right.
Well, because we missed a part. Like the daughter, the baby's sister, who's into Robbie, was like, I'm gonna have sex with him. She's like planning on tonight's the night.
Yuck. Maybe rethink that.
And then she walks in on him like with another
With
girl.
the woman.
No.
The sketchy
Yeah,
woman.
No
with the
way.
older woman. Yeah.
The
And?
woman who wanted to have sex with
Does she
someone so bad
peace ways?
she wanted to, peace ways.
Framed
she
an
had-
innocent man.
She
And found
Has sex
this
with Robbie.
random dude. What a sick cow.
Yeah.
What the
Also, great. I noted this great continuity. When Johnny is like leaving and they say goodbye, he's at his car and the back window is like still smashed, but there's like a board up, and I'm like, great continuity. They're, like,
Nice.
kept it going.
Very
they're
good. Yeah.
like, you got to have that. If it was just still
Nice.
like the glass was then fixed, and I was like, where did he get a mechanic?
Yeah. When
out
did you do
there
it?
that quickly? Come on.
How do you
Yeah.
afford it? Yes. Good eye, Will. Thank you.
Exactly. So yeah, he drives away in his 1960s car, and yeah, the night of the talent show. There's a whole kind of subplot with the sisters' relationship where they end up being like they get closer and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. She's like jealous of Baby because the dad is always focused on Baby, but now the dad suddenly becomes focused on the sister because he's upset at Baby.
Mm.
But they rekindle their sistership friendship. Anyway,
It's sistership.
yeah, sistership.
Yeah, but a lot happens
So they-
at the talent
yeah.
show.
Oh, tons.
Okay.
So they're at a table sitting. There's Dr. Houseman, and then the mother, and then Baby, who's sitting in the corner.
Jeez. I'm so ready
And-
for this.
And then there's all of the staff are singing this song about Kellerman's. They have like a resort song.
Yikes.
Yeah,
And
it's like
they're
when
like-
it's your birthday
And the
they're
sister's
like,
up there singing as well. Yeah. Newman's
God.
up there. He sings too. But the sister's singing, and she's like a god awful singer, but she's
She's
not
so
actually
bad.
good.
She's singing some weird,
Oh.
I don't know,
Poor
shit
girl.
Yeah.
sea song. I don't know what she sings. Completely out of
Oh,
tune.
yeah.
She tried. Oh,
Yeah.
girl.
And then Robbie comes in, and then Dr. Kellerman like walks up to him and is like, or Dr. Houseman walks up to him and is like,
Yeah.
is just like, Robbie, and was like, you know what? He's like, here, I want to give you something. Good luck in medical school. He's gonna like help pay for his medical school because he thinks this
Well, I
is
think
his
he let
daughter's
a letter
like
of
bow.
recommendation.
Ugh.
Oh, is it a letter? I thought
I
it was
think
a
it-
check for some
Or
reason.
maybe it was something to hear, like for your medical
It's-
school.
yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
runs
And he's
his
like,
mouth.
oh my God, thank you, Dr. House. Yeah, he's like, and thanks so much about that Penny situation. Like, it really saved me.
And he didn't know.
Because he
What?
assumes that Baby would have told her father about it, but he didn't know. And he's like, what? And he like takes the thing back, rips it up,
Ah.
and
'cause
then
he
finds out
insults her
Robbie's the
too.
one who
He's like,
impregnated.
He says something like, disparaging.
She's a bitch.
Yeah, he's like, drop that bitch.
Paraphrase, yeah.
He's like, no, which is another one for
Oh.
Doctor.
I think
No.
I don't even think he
Yeah,
disparages her. He just disparages all women. He's like, you
Yeah.
know how it is with these girls or
These
something like
bitches.
that. Yeah.
Once
What a piece
hoe.
of trash.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate trash people.
Which, I mean, they
So the
Yes.
song's still
Yes.
going on. This is the longest song ever. Oh yeah.
They claps for the doctor, though, because
And
he's like, you don't talk about women that way. No medical school for you.
Oh yeah.
Good
Yeah.
boy.
So the song's still going on. This resort song is long as fuck. But Johnny comes back. He's like, you know what? I'm coming back with my leather jacket. He walks right up to the table with the housemans. And what does he say? Alenka, what does he say?
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Yeah,
Just like that.
he does.
Just like
yeah, he just he walks up and he goes, nobody put baby in the corner. just super frantic. And you're like, whoa, Swayze, where did
You're
this
like,
energy
hey,
come from?
calm down. How does he
But yeah,
actually say it?
he just
Guys,
says that
do your
famous
best version.
Hmm.
Does he point?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he doesn't.
Weird.
Does he do a point? He's like,
don't
nobody puts
know.
baby in the corner with his leather jacket.
I think so, yeah. Yeah. No, I think he just says it. It is a kind of weird line. It's like when lines like these happen, I'm always like, someone wrote that line like before they wrote the whole movie, and like, I gotta find a place to put
Yeah,
this on.
like,
Because
it's-
it's not like there's
Yes.
one-liners throughout the movie. It's not like there's weird lines like this. This is the only time where
Right.
he's just like, nobody puts baby in the
Someone
corner.
really fought for this line. Like this,
Yeah.
whatever the movie is, this has to be in it.
Whatever.
Yeah, they fought hard and they
don't
got
even
it.
know
And I'm
what
glad
it's
they
gonna
did,
be yet.
because that's
It's famous.
It's iconic.
the most famous line. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is iconic.
And so he grabs her hand and they go up on stage. He's like, sorry to interrupt this boring, lame ass song.
Yes.
But
Get
We
it
got
he's
some
just
dancing
like,
sways.
to do.
I love baby. Baby is amazing.
Yeah.
She's the bravest person I ever met.
Yeah.
And I hope
Made
you
him a better
all
person.
like our dance. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's like, "Let's dance,
Such
girl."
a nice boy. Girl,
And-
let's go.
And then the famous song "I've Had the Time of My Life" is the
Right.
background.
Yes. It starts.
And
And this is what I was talking about. This is like very musical. Like
right.
there is this is a choreographed musical number that's happening
There are
now. Like,
plants
they
in the
obviously
audience.
choreographed it because they've been practicing all summer. Yeah, that he planted the audience. The light
No.
tech knows what's going on.
No way.
This is a last minute production.
It's
Oh
my,
my God.
Get
favorite.
these guys to
part.
Broadway.
I just
Yeah.
love it when
I'm
musical
watching this later.
movies or like a musical number happens and everyone knows exactly where they're supposed to be and what is happening.
Where their
What to
places
do.
are.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh,
And so
So
they dance to
excited.
it. And they dance. There's not like much, it's not like it's super dirty, but there are times I'm like,
it's a little dirty.
she's doing this in front of her parents, and her parents by the end are like, he's a good guy, but he's like, there's still a little bit of grinding going.
He's a horny fuck, but we like him.
Yeah, we like him.
So
But
yeah,
they do the dance. It's
yeah.
amazing. They're
they're
amazing.
killing it.
Yes.
He like jumps off the stage and like goes crazy in the crowd. But then this is where the plants come out and they start congregating around
start
him, and they
dancing.
do like the fucking yeah.
Okay.
It's like they're doing
All
the
the
jets,
next
you know,
things.
where they're like,
He really
Yeah,
wanted. He's
But
been
basically
stewing about how to impress her parents, and this is how.
yeah. So
whole
he's like
production
dancing
is-
towards her and the whole crew is dancing together. And then
oh yeah.
she
And then at the crux of the song, at the crescendo, she runs.
Yes.
And
and
boom,
does
they do the lift. They do it. They complete it
Yes.
perfectly.
Triumphant.
Knew they
They
had
did
to.
it.
Everyone's cheering.
Yes. I wonder. I don't know the facts. I don't know how many times it took them to do the lift, but I think I heard it took a
They
while.
did it just once. No, just once.
Yeah.
Just one
Just
time.
once. Yeah.
And it's triumphant and they're
But they did. Yeah.
doing a little
They do the lift, and everyone gets up and starts dancing. Everyone starts dirty dancing. Old, young, Dr. Houseman and his wife. I think Newman does it. I don't. They're all dancing. They're all having a great time. Because whether you're poor or rich,
Mm.
not black or white though, because I don't think there's
Yeah,
very many
that's
black
the
people
problem
in
with
this
this movie.
But
A lot of white
poor
folk.
or rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one that I noticed there's one black couple in the dirty dancing room when she
Mm.
first encounters it.
Yep.
And that's it. Like it's
That was
all
it.
it's all white folks upstate New York,
Mm,
you know.
Classic.
And everyone just starts dancing, having a grand old time. And then baby and her dad hug, and all
so
I
is
was
nice.
good
wrong
in the
about
world.
Johnny.
Yeah.
I did not expect this relationship.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And
I thought it was going to be more of a footloose sort of like parent relationship, you know?
no. It's actually like that's just it. It's not really that oppressive or mean or terrible. He just like has a slight, blind spot that gets
Yeah.
fixed by the
That
end.
he comes around.
Yeah. And the mother
Love
is
it.
just there.
There.
Like
She's
we said.
there.
She's there.
She's around on occasion.
Yeah. And they kiss in the middle of the crowd. The
Yeah.
camera pans out,
Beautiful.
and that's the end. Credits roll.
And yeah,
Oh my goodness.
that's it.
That's That's DD Dirty Dancing.
I'm watching this movie.
Double D.
Like
You should.
literally tonight as soon as we're done.
Oh my god.
Have your Sway's Awakening.
Oh my God,
Monica,
I'm
please.
so excited for my Sway's Awakening.
Please, okay, you gotta just text me the moment the Sway's Awakening happens, and then
And I'll send you
we can
a
post
picture
that for
of my-
content.
Yeah,
You like have a
yeah.
timestamp.
Perfect.
It happened.
Perfect.
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah, I will. I
Yeah.
really will.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
so excited for this weird erotic movie.
So like, what are your thoughts? Like, you're into it?
What did you
Okay,
think
so
of that?
I've been absolutely. I've been wanting to see this movie for a really long time, and it's really, like you mentioned before we even got started, that it was one of those movies in your childhood that just like stuck with you, and it was like became your favorite right away. And I feel like it's got all the right parts for that to happen to me, but now much later in my adult life, and I think it will be
Mhm.
even more magical. So I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
No, it's one of those classic movies.
Yeah.
And I remember this was years ago. I just remember this now. Do you remember when Mervish did the live show? Like they did a Dirty Dancing
Say what?
play musical.
I don't
Who?
know if I actually
No.
watched. I didn't watch that one. I watched.
Mervish.
I watched Saturday Night Fever, the musical, and I watched like a
Haven't seen
different
that.
dancing one, but I never
Okay.
watched.
But no, I
this
went to
one, but I
Toronto
remember
and
then they
saw Dirty Dancing the musical, and it was actually pretty good because they actually had the guy,
Oh yeah,
the guy who played Johnny and Penny. They were like both from the National Ballet, so they were just like,
Sickening.
rock stars essentially. But just
Oh,
as
yeah.
a side note, that it
I'm
has
going
been a
to
musical,
really
so.
love this movie. Ugh, I
Mm.
like dance movies. They're just so fun to watch.
They're the best.
They are. Watch this and then watch Step Up to the Streets. Yeah.
Step up to the streets,
No.
not step up to the streets.
Yeah.
Step
Yeah.
up to the streets.
I call it Step Up to the Streets. To the streets.
That's much better. Step up to the streets. I like it. I like it.
Right?
Oh
Yeah.
my
Like all those
gosh.
Fast and Furious movies, you have to just
Oh my
like, you know,
gosh.
too fast, too furious. It's too fast, it's too furious. It's not.
Yeah.
Step up to the streets, baby. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I want to watch that movie, but I definitely want to watch this one. So
Good.
Yeah. Well, oh man, I'm trying to think of a rating system for
I
this
know
one.
I'm ready for it.
I have one in my mind, but it's too horrible. It's too bad. but maybe I
Okay,
should.
great.
That's my sig.
His cutoff.
Okay, well,
Now we
how
know
many
his
botched
threshold.
abortions do you give this one? Monica?
Honestly, Will, I thought is this the one that you were like, no, I can't do it, or is this
That's the
not
one I can't do, but I did
okay,
it. Yeah.
okay, that's what I thought, because I was like, I knew right away. I was like, Will's gonna say the fucking botched abortion, and then you're like, I can't do it. But then you said it, and I was like, he was thinking of something even worse. Botched abortions.
No.
Well, because
Bro, why do you gotta
how
do
many
that?
watermelons would be too easy?
Yeah, it would be.
Right. Well, this
Oh.
is tricky, because I just don't really care to give too many botched abortions personally, but it was a really great movie. Okay, I've got this. I give it every woman capable in that year, 1950s, whatever, to have a botched abortion, but I also give them a completely capable doctor to help them through it after the fact. That's
right.
what I rate it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That sounds like a positive
Thank
thing.
Really good spin. Really good
Yeah.
spin.
Yeah.
I give
Good-
them,
good to
even
spin
though
it.
it's a terrible thing, I give them something to get through it.
I'm sorry, I
Life.
picked that one.
Yeah, you're trash. You're
I
fucking
gotta-
trash,
I
and
gotta
I
do a
hate
surprise
you.
one every time. Every one I've got to.
I was
try
also
to,
taking a sip of water when you did it, so thanks.
I saw that.
I was trying for a spit
You
take. I
psycho.
really was.
But no, that sounds like it just sounds so fun, and
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
excited
it's
to watch
On
this.
the Netflix, so you should
I'm
check it out.
pumped. I'm so glad that I
Yeah.
asked earlier because I'm pumped. Getting it
Well-
ready in the queue, baby.
Megan,
Yes.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
coming
sharing
on
this
the
beautiful
show.
movie.
Oh,
Yes,
Thank you for
we
having
all
me.
had our Sway's awakenings.
I have
Yes.
yet. I will, and I will document the mo. I can't
Please.
wait.
if our listeners want to follow you, check out what's going on in your life, in your area of the world, where can they follow you?
Yes, for those interested, I am Meg.Lion, kind of like a Meg Ryan kind of situation, but Meg Lion on Instagram.
Nice.
You can follow me there. If you're into beauty, fashion, talking shit, I'll be there. Or you can also check me out on my website, meghanlanders.com.
You can follow at Haven't Seen a Podcast on Instagram and Facebook, and at haven't_seen_it on Twitter. And you can also go to our website, haven'tseenapodcast.com. We have a big list of movies that Alinka hasn't seen. It's amazing. It's horrible.
It's horrifying.
At the same time. And also,
It's sexy, guys.
Yeah, we're going to get through it. And and all our episodes on there. And I even added a new about section with some bios. We have a fun one for our good friend Zach Parsons, our resident punching bag. So check it out. And write us a review on iTunes and all that jazz. And send me some birthday wishes today, motherfuckers.
Yeah, right.
Happy birthday in the future.
Right. Happy birthday, Will. And
it's now. It's happening
today.
now.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Yes. On that note, Will, happy birthday. And guys, remember, if you can avoid dancing clean, do it. And instead, dance dirty.